Zeophates, oxygen not included, tutorials, tips, and tricks. And welcome back everybody to another oxygen tutorial, tips, and tricks. So, last episode we turned around and we showed you this section here. This we'll get into at some point in time. But now we're looking at, okay, well, what's another method of generating oxygen? Well, there is one. And I'm going to show it to you this time around. So first we need to get our stuff set up. Let our dupes go that. I'm doing this just so they can start getting some skills. And of course. So I'm going to just simply destroy this. So how do we make more oxygen? Well, there is a method that honestly most people don't think of. To do this method, we're going to take a liquid vent. We're going to place it there. Above that liquid vent, we're going to take some of our mesh tiles. And we're going to place it like that. And above that, we're going to go into our oxygen. We're going to get some deodorizers. And we're going to space them out so there's 2 spaces between each of them. I can already probably hear you asking, well, why are we doing that? Well, these things take 5 watts of energy. So let's get these hooked in. So let's get our power set up. Again, I'm just going to use a manual generator. I use manual generators a lot in the start of things. Because they're, for isolated power systems, like this generator probably only need to be charged once every 2 cycles. Because these things are not really taking a lot of power. So what are we going to do with that? And don't be afraid, like if you come in here and you see dupes that I don't want any of these dupes, don't reject all because then you lose out on the print. So it's, in this instance, well, we got 100 kilograms of oxalite or a lot of sandstone. Well, I want the sandstone, so I'm going to print that. This is a good way of getting resources that you may not necessarily have, and works from there. So when looking around, we've got polluted water up here. Now you've got 2 ways you can deal with polluted water. First way is you can set a water sieve. It works. And it's going to turn around and it's going to deal with the polluted water. And you can then utilize that water any way you want. Shove it into here or anything else like that. But the goal for this particular method of gaining oxygen is meant to be low effort, low maintenance, and pretty automatic with very little cost. And the way we're going to achieve that is we're going to pump polluted water into this little chamber here. The reason why is because those gases right there. Once the oxygen level drops, as you just see every now and then it's happening, this polluted water will turn around and it will generate polluted oxygen. And that polluted oxygen then encounters these deodorizers, which are going to eat it and then produce oxygen. It's a slow way, but for the most part, it is completely passive. You do, of course, need filtration medium, which you can dig, or you can come into here and you can turn sandstone, for instance, into sand. So you can turn a bunch of different types of rocks into sand so you can get your filtration medium. You can go through the world and just anytime you see sand, just make sure you dig it out. But by this point in time, as you're building your base out, you're going to have majority of the stuff you need. And so by the time any of the polluted oxygen is going along, it's eventually going to get along over here, and one of these things is going to have caught it. And it's going to have converted it into oxygen, and it's going to slowly push everything out. So that right there, once all of these are fully operational, which still needs a little bit more sand, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. This is going to take 40 watts of energy. This takes 120 watts of energy. So this takes 3 times the energy of this system here. Downside is this takes a lot more clay, a lot more sand. So if you have a lot of sand, or you have a lot of material to make into sand, this method could be the method you should choose. Because you can already see like how fast this oxygen is pushing out of here. And that's exactly what you want to see. So that's another method of oxygen generation.